nobody has given you the most in-depth, step-by-step on how to actually set up Obsidian with OpenClaw and your agents until now, so I hope you guys enjoyed. In this video, I am going to be setting up Obsidian with you live so you can see exactly how to implement this into your OpenClaw infrastructure and set it up with your main AI agent if you have multiple agents like myself. So let's waste no time. Let's get right into this, okay? And I want to make this very clear, okay, as I switch over. I want to make this very, very clear for you guys. I'm watched a couple of these videos, and no one's really walking you through how to do it. I'm watching this, and I'm watching these videos, and I'm like, this is really, really confusing from how they're explaining it. And I think that this is why another one of my videos really took off, and it's because I really actually break things down to where the average person can actually just step-by-step implement this with me. And I think that it's a major, major area that a lot of these other creators are lacking in. So that's why I'm making this video, and that's why I'm doing this, right? I want to actually show you how to do this and walk you through it. So as you can see here, I have, this is brand new, okay? Obsidian, I have the sync feature. I have everything set up. Now, what I do want to do is go through some settings really quick, okay? Because there are a couple things that I've seen and learned that are important. Okay, first things first, you're going to want to make an account. You're going to want to make an account. And when you make the account, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to sign up for the sync package. So I think it's like $5 a month or $9 a month. I paid $20 a month just because I went with the 100 gigabyte plan. I honestly probably don't even need it. You could probably get away with like the $9 or $5 a month plan. Anyways, nonetheless, you're going to need to sign up for that, okay? You're going to need to sign up for that because most of us here, again, I'm going to speak generals, are operating on a two-device little infrastructure system, if I may say so myself, for lack of better terms. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, for me, my Mac Mini hosts my OpenClaw, and it's my agent's computer. And then I use my MacBook, which you're seeing me operate on now. The MacBook is indeed mine, and that's what I usually just operate and run on. So I want to make that very clear for you guys. And in order for you guys to always have these things synced, you're going to need sync, okay? You're going to need that option, and that's where you're going to have to obviously pay for this. Now, one thing I also want to do here is run through a couple settings. So all these settings are usually ticked, but the one you're going to want to tick in here in the sync side is all other types. So sync unsupported file types. Obviously, there are certain file types that this was not originally going to support, like YAML, etc., but MD files obviously are clearly supported here, but there are other files such as YAML and other ones that are not going to be supported, but you still want them in here. So, you know, now it's going to sync all of the other types of files as well. So, pardon me, I'm just getting over a cold here. So if I cough a little, that's why. But that's the main thing you're going to want to do. There are two plugins that I downloaded, which the first one is Data Files Editor. So in order to do that, you're going to want to come to the community plugins. You're going to want to come over here and search. First off, you'll need to turn on and enable this. Once you do that, then you're going to go ahead and you're going to search for plugins. And you want to hit the browse and then just type these in. Data Files Editor when you hit browse, right? So I'll show you this right there. And it's by Zucktol. And then the other one that you're going to want to have here that I have is going to be HTML Reader. Okay, that's the other one. So do the same thing. Make sure it's by this person here, and you're good to go. You just make sure that these are enabled. Also, another thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to come here when you come to sync. I believe we're going to resume this sync, by the way. And also, what you're going to want to do when it comes to this is you're going to want to make sure that these are installed on both devices. So you're going to need an Obsidian on your Mac Mini, and you're going to need it on your MacBook or whatever two devices you have it on, okay? Very, very important. Then you need to make sure that those are done. And again, it should be there. You should be good to go now, but you're going to want to set that up. And you're going to also want to make sure that you're obviously logged into the Obsidian account on both of the devices. So that's also very, very important. And I believe it was down here. Yeah, in the sync section down here, it's going to hit install community plugins. So you're going to want to sync those. So just want to make sure that those are set up clear. So that's really all I've done. You create an account, install it on both, and then make sure that you set it up as a vault. You want to set it up as a new vault. Okay, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that you know the file path for that, and I will show you how to find that as well. As I'm going through this, I'll probably end up doing that. So anyways, nonetheless, that's pretty much it. Now it's brand new, it's bare, And let's go ahead and actually get started. Now, I've actually prompted Machiavelli here, which if you guys don't know, Machiavelli is my AI agent. He's my main guy, all right? He's an absolute G. And I told him, I said, hey, I want to talk to you about Obsidian and how we can use and implement it into our infrastructure to increase your memory and the memory of other agents. Now, it went ahead and he went ahead and looked for any prior conversations, didn't, and then did some research. Now, look at how Machiavelli broke this all down. Now, there's a video that I made, and it is inside it was my 2 videos ago. I'll pop the thumbnail up on the screen where I talk about how to train your agent. And I also talked about it inside of the OpenClaw full setup guide, which both of those videos, links are down in the description below for those. I did pop the thumbnails up so you could see those, but nonetheless, look at how he comes down and just breaks this down for me. Absolute masterclass this guy did. I'm not going to read all of it, but long story short, you can see here, I've done my research, and here's where I'm at on this. The problem Obsidian solves, which, if you guys don't know, flat file chaos, memory.md, daily logs, all these other files, it's all marked down in a flat folder. No linking, no graph, no relationships between the concepts. Number 2 is the context compaction kills us. Every time context compacts, agents lose nuance. Now, the 9-file reload, which I talked about in my OpenClaw full setup guide, if you haven't watched that, you need to watch that, gets us to about 90% operation, okay, after context compacts, okay? But that last 10% is the connections between ideas that flat files just can't represent, and then no visual exploration. You can't see the relationships between Mercury Scheduler Fix, one of my agents, and the lessons it generated, and the other 3 agents, and how it affects those, okay? Number 4, the QMD semantic search. Again, QMD is extremely important to talk about it in the full setup guide. It finds content, by similarity, it doesn't understand the decision A connects to lesson B, connects to agent C's SOP. So what Obsidian actually brings. Now, again, I could have wrote this all down and written this, and said this to you, but I'm just reading what Machiavelli's telling me here. Obsidian is just a Markdown viewer with superpowers. These files are still just MD files on a disk, but that's why it works for us, okay? Bidirectional links. So Mercury Scheduler and a daily log links to Mercury's dedicated note, and Mercury's note shows every file that it references. Okay, relationships become visible. The graph view, a visual map of how everything connects. You can see it at a glance which agents touch which business, which lessons relate to which SOPs, tags and metadata. Local first, 0 cost, obviously. It's a free app. The files stay on your Mac Mini. You can't lose them. No SAS dependency here, which is extremely important. And then Karpathy's approach, all right? Use LLMs to compile raw data into structured wiki with summaries, backlinks, and concept articles. The wiki becomes a living knowledge base that improves every time it's queried. So my honest assessment, I'm not going to run through all of this, but essentially he gives us 3 options here, and then he tells us the recommendations, okay? So the first option was, long story short, it's going to be the full Obsidian migration, and it replaces our current memory system. Bullshit. We're not going to do that. The second one is Obsidian as a knowledge layer on top of the current system, which is what we're actually going to do. And then number 3 was Obsidian for my brain, not the agents, right? My recommendation, which is what Machiavelli is saying, is option number 2. Here's why. No disruption. Everything that works today keeps working. Compounding value. Every daily log gets compiled into structure-based knowledge. Over weeks, the vault becomes a genuine institutional memory for all 3 businesses and more to come. Cross-agent intelligence. When Mercury hits a scheduler issue, she doesn't check her own skill.md. She can query the vault for related fix and decisions and decision across the whole system. 4, you can see it too. You open Obsidian, see the graph, the connections. You're not relying on me to remember everything. And number 5 is it scales across all agents. 1 vault, every agent reads from it, single source of truth. Now it's telling me what do I need from me, which is going to be very similar to what you're going to have to provide this as well. 1, do you already use Obsidian? Yes, I do. Or would this be a fresh install? Number 2, what's your primary goal here? Is there to be more agent memory? Option 2, your personal knowledge management? Option 3, or both? How hands-on do you want to be? Should I build this so you never touch it, agents self-maintain, or do you want Obsidian to be something you interact with too? The implementation itself is straightforward. Vault on the Mac Mini, agents read-write the Markdown, the cron compiles structured pages. I can have a V1 running same day once we align with the approach. Now, isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful that when you set up the agent exactly how I teach you to, it just presents everything for me. Says, here's what we need. Here's all I need from you. Here's what we're going to do. What do you think? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tell it what we're doing here. Okay. This is very important. So what we're all, what we're also going to do is we're going to open up my Mac Mini. Now you can see I'm inside of my Mac Mini here through my laptop. Okay. Now what I'm going to do here is I need to pull up where we actually store this at here, okay, where we actually have the vault file, which I do believe is on the desktop. And so I do know that it is on the actual like main desktop, and I know what I named this. What I'm now going to do is, you can see here that I named this OpenClaw, okay, and you can hit manage vaults. And when you go to manage vaults, you can see where it's at. So this is how you can actually see where your vault file is actually at. You have to know the path, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to actually screenshot this, and I'm actually gonna do it this way. So what I'm gonna do here is I will screenshot that, just like this, and I will share this with my agent, okay? And I'm gonna let him know, hey, Machiavelli, you absolute G, you. I want you to make sure that when you're doing this, even though we're not doing this on my actual MacBook, like we are doing this on my MacBook, but I want this to happen on the device you operate on, okay? So that's what I'm gonna set up here, and that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna go ahead and just say the following. So I already have Obsidian downloaded on the Mac Mini, which you operate on, and my MacBook, which is where I mainly operate on. And I already have the account made, the settings are already set up, and everything is already synced and ready to go. Now, after I send you this message, I'm also going to attach a screenshot that shows where the vault path of the vault folder is and the path to get to that folder on the Mac Mini. And I want to make sure that we are operating so that way that everything you're doing right now is going to happen on the absolute Mac Mini. And it's not going to be on my MacBook, because everything will sync. So I want you to do this stuff on the Mac Mini. Now, the primary goal here, to answer your second question, is for option number 2, and that's the option we're actually going to go with, okay? It's going to be option number 2, but I also want to create a wiki out of this, so that way you guys can query it whenever necessary. So at the end of the day, we would obviously want to go with option 2 for the implementation, but for the primary goal, it is going to be option 2, but we will also utilize it for option 3 as well, okay? So we're going to have a note in there, which is like a wiki for me, but I also mainly want this to enhance every agent's memory. That is the core and utter primary goal here, okay? And how hands-on do I want to be? To be quite honest with you, I don't want to have to touch it. I literally just want to be able to tell you what to put where, and it happens. So like, for instance, if I think of something and I'm like, okay, I want you to put it inside of my wiki, then you go ahead and put it in the wiki. And I want everything to update on its own, and every single day, just kind of how we do with the QMD embeds, and we make sure that everything is set up correctly so that way we never lose any context and everything continuously gets stored. I want to ensure that we do the same thing here, and after we implement this, I want to ensure that we optimize the absolute hell out of it, okay? I know you said the implementation is straightforward. The vault is currently on the Mac Mini, okay? The agents can read and write the markdowns, cron compiles, structured pages, all that stuff is good, but I do want you to ensure that at the end of the day, we are going to not only like set this up, but we are also going to optimize the absolute hell out of it. Please ask me any clarifying questions before we get started. Do not start yet until I let you know, but I want to make sure that at the end of the day, you ask me any clarifying questions that you need to in order for us to make sure that you have the most context before you go ahead and get started here. Now, that was a pretty long message, but you see what I'm doing here. You need to understand this. You need to ensure that at the end of the day, you are making sure that it asks you any questions that it needs to in order to have full clarification in order to do this the best. And I want to make sure that we cross all T's and dot as many I's as we can before we actually start this. So I'm going to come back here once Machiavelli has given me a full-fledged analysis and done all this for us. All right. So he came back and he's saying he's having a slight error here. So if we could see this, it states that the vault is here. You can read, essentially he can read or write, but can't list directory context, contents, and can't scan what's actually in the vault without maintaining my own index of what's in there. So we have two options. We can keep it on the desktop. I maintain a vault index file like this, and it tracks everything in the vault, or we move the vault to a non-desktop location, and I get full read-write access with zero TCC issues. You repoint Obsidian and synced with its new location 30 seconds on your end. My recommendation is option B, which I completely and utterly agree with here. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do here. And then the vault structure here, I'm planning to build this with top-level sections here. So agents, businesses, wiki, daily, decisions, lessons, systems, templates. Does this coverage match what you're envisioning, or do you want to add or remove any sections? I actually have something here for you guys that I'm going to share with you on how I want this done. And then for sync direction, one way or two way, so agent through Vault, agent compiles daily logs, lessons, and decisions into structured wiki pages. This is the core. You Vault, you tell me to add something, I write. Vault with agent memory. If you edit a note directly in Obsidian on your MacBook, should the agents pick that up automatically? This would mean I need a watcher or periodic scan to detect your changes and propagate them back into the agent's memory system. Start one way, agents write, you read, instruct, and the reverse sync later once. Yeah, I agree. I don't want to have to edit anything. Even though I can edit and I don't mind doing it, I really don't want to. I want to be able to just read them and then tell Machiavelli or tell my other agents what to do here. So we're gonna we're gonna do this. We're gonna make sure that we change the area here. So I'm gonna just come here and we're gonna say, okay, yeah. So I want to move the vault to a non-desktop location. So can we do that and make sure that that is taken care of? Can you do that for me? Are you able to, or do I actually have to do that? And then also, I'm going to upload a screenshot of essentially how I want the vault structure and the architecture to look. You're pretty on point here, I'm not going to lie to you, but I want to make sure everything is very, very organized to ensure that there is, you know me, I'm OCD, Machiavelli. We have to be extremely organized here. So I'm going to upload a screenshot. You take what you want from that and then add it into the architecture. And then for the sync direction, yeah, I want it to be two-way, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to be editing anything. I just want to be able to look at things and then tell you or Genghis Khan to make the changes if necessary. Okay, so, you know, again, we could start with the one way, but at the end of the day, I really don't care because I'm not going to be touching these as far as editing them. I'm literally just going to be going in and just looking at them if I need to and just looking at the Markdown files, okay? And then what I'm going to also do here is read this. So compilation frequency, how often should the vault get updated from every agent in real time? Every time an agent writes to the daily log, it also writes in the vault center. Most current, highest write volumes scheduled. And then EOD only, my recommendation is 2 to 3 times daily. Cron compilation catches morning, afternoon. Now, here's a good question that some of you guys might ask, which I'm going to also ask as well because I'm not too sure. And for section number 4, when you ask me about how often the vault should get updated from agent activity, is there a difference that I should be aware of between real time and scheduled? Because I would ideally like it to be in real time, but I also want to know if there's any costs associated with that based on the model that they're running on, etc. Is there anything that I should be aware of? Because I would ideally like to do it in real time, so that way it's always just getting updated and we don't have to worry about a cron job failing. Right, so I want to know that. That's super important. And then agent access. Should all agents have write access to the vault, or should only Machiavelli compile, write, and other agents read only? My recommendation is Machiavelli is the sole compiler and writer. Other agents read it from context. This prevents conflicting writes, maintains quality control. Yeah, I would agree there. For now. Yeah, I would say for now, I want you to be the only one who can actually compile and write, and the other agents just have read-only access. I think that's the most important because I don't want anything else to happen, but I also want to know what are the potential downsides of that happening and you being the only person, because does that mean then that essentially they'll never be able to write and update these files and these notes and these markdown files, etc. in real time? And then I'm going to just let him know, please answer these questions prior and do not start until I tell you to. I want to make sure that we dial everything in. All right, so we went ahead and responded here. Curious to see what he's going to say. After this, we should probably be able to go ahead and start getting this actually, you know, taken care of. And while I'm waiting on this, I just want to state that, first off, the amount of love and support that I've been getting on my videos has been absolutely astounding. So I just want to say thank you very, very, very much. Like, I'm very genuinely grateful to have the support that I have, especially like as my videos have recently been just catching a lot of traction. And I've received so much overwhelming like compliments and comments on like how my videos are very helpful, how my videos are very easy to understand, how I make things like actually implementable and like actionable from the video, not just something that, you know, you have to like go figure out on your own, which is actually why I made this video and the way I'm making this video. Yeah, is it a little longer? Yes. But at the end of the day, you can follow right along and you can take a lot of value from how I'm navigating these situations and utilize it for your own advantage, right? So I just want to say thank you. We've grown very, very well, very quickly, and I just have to say thank you for all the support, for everybody who's subscribing, for everybody who's commenting. Please let me know down in the comment section below what else you guys want to see. I am going to be uploading a boatload more content. I've got about 20 different video ideas, so like the content's going to come every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday until further notice. If you would like me to do live streams, which I think would be kind of cool, just go ahead and comment live stream in all caps down below. I would just want to genuinely curious. I would love to interact live with you guys. Also, I would like to state that I am a agency owner, okay? So I'm not trying to build a SaaS product. I'm not trying to build a tool. I'm literally utilizing these agents to operate and automate businesses, okay? To as much as I can, for that matter. You cannot automate every single thing, but I just want to make that very clear on my use case as to why I'm using this and how I'm using these agents and why I use OpenClaw, as opposed to what other people are doing, which is building SaaS products, building tools, and things like that. So anyways, I just want to make that very clear. I'm going to go ahead here. Let's take a look. So yeah, this is great. This is absolutely great. So I can see the workspace structure below, okay, but I get what you're going for. The level of cleanness and organization applied to the Obsidian Vault. Let me address everything. So I can handle most of this, but you'll need to do one step. Here's why. I can create the new folder and move all the files from the desktop location to the new path, but the repointing Obsidian to the new Vault location requires opening Obsidian's UI and selecting Open Folder as Vault. Okay, that's fine. That's a GUI action I can't perform. So the plan, I create this. And then I move everything from that to the new location. And then you open Obsidian on your MacBook, open folder Vault as well. And then Obsidian Sync handles the rest. This is a 30-second task on your end. Once this is done, okay, so we do need to do this. We do need to make this happen. So we need to move where this is, and I'm actually gonna have to figure out how to do this, which is gonna be interesting. So we can move the Vault here. So the way that we do this is you're gonna come to this little area down here. You're gonna click Manage Vaults, and you're gonna want to click the three dots here, and you're gonna want to hit Move Vault. Now the main thing I want to figure out is where in the world do we move the Vault? Okay, let's see here. Okay, we'll ask Machiavelli where to move it, but at least we know how to do that now. Cake, easy money. Architecture, my take on your screenshot plus my additions. I see what you're going for. Clean, flattish, top level, clear purpose for every folder. Here's what I'm proposing. Here, dashboard, boom, all this stuff. Businesses, and then one folder per business. Boom, boom. Agents, each agent here. Systems. Decisions, lessons, wiki, daily, content, published. Okay, yeah, this is cake. This is absolutely beautiful. Why number folded? Obsidian sorts alphabetically. Numbers force the order you naturally read. See, I didn't know that. And so, like, I would like it to be that way. I would like it to be that way. See what happens when you just tell it what you want to a certain degree? This is very important. Because if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have known that, like, you got to put numbers in front of it. Real-time update, agent writes to the Vault immediately after action. Cost, impact, minimal to 0, so the Vault is just a markdown file on a disk. Okay, that's nice to know. Writing a file costs nothing, no API calls, no token usage. The agent is already processing the information. Writing it to the vault is just an extra write. Call alongside, boom. The real cost question, does the agent need to do an extra LLM thinking to format the vault entry? If I'm just mirroring what's already been written to the daily logs, 0 extra tokens. If I'm asking the agent to compile and summarize into a structured wiki format, that's additional token. Okay. More writes equals more chance of writing conflict. Okay. Cost impact, Machiavelli reads the day's raw logs, compiles into structured wiki pages, updates links, maybe 10 to 20,000 tokens per compilation run. Risk, if the cron fails, the vault is stale until next run, but honestly, our crons are stable. This isn't high risk. Okay. So Machiavelli's revised recommendation is a hybrid approach, which is agents write raw entries to the vault in real time, so it's low cost, and then Machiavelli runs a compilation cron 2 times daily, morning and end of day. That takes all raw entries and compiles them into a structured wiki page with proper links, cross-references, and updates. So, okay. What I'm thinking we could do here instead of this, like, because he's wanting to make wiki pages, what I'm thinking about doing is essentially just asking him, like, just utilize the daily logs that we have and then connect certain things in the daily logs to files that we already have created. So we shouldn't be creating new wiki pages. We should just be utilizing the daily logs file that we have that logs everything that we're doing in a day and ensure that all of that stuff in there is getting connected to all of the other files that it correlates with. Makes more sense and seems much more effective. So we're definitely going to do that. Okay, so first thing I'm going to say here, perfect. The structure looks fine. And also, I want to ask you, where would you like me to move the vault folder to? Because I can move it right now before we start. So I want to know, where do you want me to move this vault folder? That's the first thing. The second thing here is when it comes to the real-time versus scheduled, what if we just did this? Because we write daily logs every single day, what if we just utilize those daily logs and then you went in at the beginning of the day, the middle of the day, and the end of the day, and you updated those daily logs inside of Obsidian to connect to the correlating files that those daily logs correlate with? I.e., if something happens in Mercury's system or process, that's obviously like we've logged all that in the daily, and then we reference that to Mercury's, actual folder or file that it correlates with in that fix. Does that make sense? I'm just wanting to look at this from a very optimum and effective and efficient standpoint, right? We don't need the agents creating new wiki pages. That doesn't seem to make much sense to me. Okay, next here, Machiavelli as a sole writer, the downsides and the mitigation. You asked the right question. Here are some honest trade-offs. One, see how it's giving me all of the things though, like all of the issues and like how we can mitigate them? I've taught Machiavelli how to do this. With 10 plus agents, Machiavelli compiling everything means more work per compilation cycle. Mitigation, Genghis Khan could handle compilation as a delegated task. He's on Sonnet 4, cheap, and this is exactly the kind of implementation work he should be doing under my oversight. My adjusted recommendation, all agents get write access to specific areas, their own raw intake folder. Only Machiavelli or Genghis Khan delegated by me compiles raw entries into structured wiki pages. No agent writes directly to business pages, decision logs, or wiki. That's curator level work. I completely agree with you here, brother. I completely agree. I think that Genghis can go ahead and take care of this, and you should just double check his work if anything, but you do not have to actually be doing it. We can leave that to Genghis Khan. All right, so let's go ahead and I just want to make sure he doesn't just go off and start building, right? We need shit to get done first. I need to figure out where he wants me to put this folder. Can't move a currently open vault. Okay, good to know. So what if we did this? What if we closed that and we killed it on... What if we did this? Let's come here. Boom. Move vault. And let's go to here. Command Shift G brings this up right here. And you just double click this. And then I would come and see here. Can't move an open vault. Okay, let's close this. Now can we do it? Boom. 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 Successfully moved. Beautiful. Beautiful. We absolutely love it. It's great work right there. Took me 2 seconds. Couldn't agree more. We love that stuff. We absolutely love it. Let's open up the vault now. Okay, so we moved it there. I knew it. You're 100% right. Your approach is smarter than what I proposed. Usually is. Let me restate it to make sure that I've got it correctly. Agents write to the daily logs every day. This is running, proven, and reliable 3 times a day, morning, midday, and end of day. Genghis Khan reads the daily logs and does one job. Updates the Obsidian Vault by pulling relevant entries and linking them to the correct files. Example, Mercury fixes the scheduler bug. It's in today's daily log. Genghis reads that entry, updates here with the fixed details, adds this backlink, updates this as well. And if it affected the pipeline, no new wiki pages get auto-created. The structure is pre-built. Genghis just updates. Yes. Why you're right that agents shouldn't create wiki pages. You nailed it, right? Structure below. The pages already exist. One source of truth. And my OCD thanks me later. Gosh, it's a beautiful thing to have OCD. 0 new pagination created as well. New page creation. So the structured updates and cross-linking are clean. Beautiful. I figured that. I figured that much. Now, here's a good trick that I'm going to teach you guys. This is why I wanted to do it this way. So let me finish this. Number 3, Genghis Khan is the compiler, which is confirmed. Genghis Khan handles the 3 daily compilation cron. He reads daily logs, updates vault pages, adds links. I verify his output periodically. Spot checks, not every run. No. If something looks wrong, I fix it and push the lesson back to him. This is exactly the kind of repetitive but important implementation that Sonnet 4 handles. Well at a fraction of the cost. Completely agreed. So for number 3, I'm going to say this. I want you to make sure that when the cron runs, when he's finished, Genghis needs to tell you when he's finished, and then you need to double check his work every time. I do not want to leave an opportunity open for him to make a mistake and then it not get fixed and then it messes things up. Also, I want you, because I already asked you that we should see every single file and folder that you currently have in the workspace inside of that vault. So I want you to look for any gaps or any areas where we can improve this current infrastructure to ensure that this is going to immensely enhance our memory of every agent. This is important here. So what I'm doing is yeah, okay, we've ironed out a lot of these things, but I want to make sure that there are no holes in the ship, right? That's extremely important. And I also knew that I already have daily logs written. So I'm making sure that all of these things are getting accounted for. So that way, like, there's no need to create. Why are you having it create wiki pages? Like, that's stupid. We already have the daily logs. Just use the daily logs. If you don't have daily logs, you need to be doing that. Every day, your agents log everything that they're doing, and then now you can see why they're best utilized, right? Okay, yeah, I moved it there without the vault suffix. Obsidian confirms it's pointing there. Let me verify full access. Vault is here. Full read write. Beautiful. Good there. Now let me audit our current work. Good. So as you guys can see here, this is kind of how I iron things out. And I'm very anal about a lot of this stuff, right? Like, I want to make sure that every file is going to be inside of that vault. I want to make sure that there are no orphan files. I want to make sure that everything is connected. I want to make sure that everything gets synced up in real time. I want to make sure that if Genghis Khan is going to go in and he's going to compile all the raw data and then connect everything accordingly, I want to make sure that that stuff is done right. And then I want to make sure that he notifies Machiavelli afterwards so that Machiavelli can go in and double check his work. Because again, this is the memory system. This is very important. For things at an infrastructural level, I waste absolutely no time, and I cut no corners at cost, right? Because this is going to immensely enhance the memory and the operation of these agents. So I don't think cutting corners or doing things here should even be remotely considered in my eyes. Like, they should not be considered. So anyways, let's go ahead and let's see what he says. Perfect. Okay. So we're good there. He gave me a lot of gaps, and these are gaps that you guys can learn from right now, okay? We want to just copy all of these on schedule. For symlink, which is a mirror and not a copy, I don't want it to mirror anything. I want everything to be absolutely inside of this vault. So option B is what Machiavelli states, which is what I would agree with, which is the 3 times daily compilation cron copies the daily logs into the vault and adds the links to connected pages. You see everything in the vault on both machines, fully synced, fully linked. Love that. Absolutely love that. All right, next here for instruction on Genghis Khan QA. Yeah, every cron Genghis compiles, reports completion to me. I verify his work before it's considered done. No unchecked updates. If he makes an error, I catch, fix. Yeah, that's 100% correct. So the full workspace audit, what we have here, I found 836 markdown files. Root level is 20. Memory is 114. Agents is 485. Wow. Holy Lord. As you can see here, we obviously have a good amount of stuff going on. Yeah, projects, content. Here are the gaps. Here's where we can improve. Fragmented agent memory. This is critical. So every agent has their own siloed workspace. Mercury's lessons don't cross-pollinate with Victor's. Sunny's system health findings don't update Jordan's awareness. The Vault fixes this by creating a central link knowledge base. Okay, perfect. So how do we... Is that what we're automatically fixing just by utilizing Obsidian? Gap 2, 5 agents missing critical memory files. Hawk, Luke, Alex, no lessons.md. Mistakes don't get tracked. Nikola, Nova, Isaac, Newton, MGS, missing memory.md. No long-term memory. Newton, completely empty workspace. Jeez, my gosh. So this is what I'm saying. This is why you ask these questions. I wouldn't have known this. I wouldn't have known this at all, right? So like we're getting this done. No cross-referencing. When a decision in decision context.md relates to Mercury Scheduler, there's no link. You'd have to read both files and make the connection yourself. Obsidian Links solves this permanently. Daily logs are write only. We have 37 days of daily logs, 74 files, counting Discord. They get written and rarely compiled into actionable intelligence. The Vault compilation crons are yes. Business knowledge is scattered. Empower info lives here. Agent-specific notes. All this stuff is scattered. Okay, no central decision trail. So decisions dash context exists, but it's an append only and unlinked. Decisions don't connect to the agent's business or lessons they spawn. The Vault's decision pages will link. Yeah, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. I love it. All right, perfect. So what do we need to do here? Let's actually do something about this. How about that, huh? How about we actually do something about this? So what the build looks like, when you give the green light, we're going to create the full folder structure, populate initial pages from the existing workspace, wire up all the links between the related pages, create home and dashboard with quick links and Vault overview, build Genghis Khan's compilation skill, skill.md in the cron that runs 3 times a day, build verification protocol so it reports to him, set up the crons 8 a.m., 1 p.m., 9 p.m., sure. First full compilation run, process 37 days of... Yeah, I told you guys I've only been doing this for like a little over a month now. Like, I wasn't bullshitting. And then test and verify. Okay, so I have a couple questions here, and then we can get started. First is Obsidian fixing all of these gaps here that you've listed? Is that correct? And then second of all, after you give me that answer, then wait for my green light, and then we'll do each step one by one to make sure that there's nothing wrong or nothing breaks. So this is very important, okay? Note this, and I've learned this just through multiple times of implementing major shit like this. You need to just do one step at a time. If I just told Machiavelli, go ahead and do all 9 steps, absolutely not. I could be missing so much shit. Something could break, something could not be right, etc., etc. Then I have to go back and fix all this, right? We don't want to do that. So I've learned just do one step at a time, report to me when it's finished, verify it's good, then go to step 2. So I'm just going to let you know that. Obsidian fixes 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6 directly. Oh, that's beautiful. Gap 2, 5 agents. Oh, okay, yeah. We can get that taken care of. Yes, you should definitely fix Gap 2 as a part of the build. I would actually do that first, and then we can go ahead and get started. So let's go ahead and fix Gap 2 really quick. Once that's done, let me know, and then I will give you the green light to get started. But you wait on my green light to do the rest. Just fix Gap 2. But it looks like Machiavelli is doing his thing, all right? He's created all this stuff, so everything's fixed. We've got memory.mds. Everything is taken care of. All right, so while he actually does that, what I want to do here is I would love to come here and just take a look and see if, like, we can actually see what's getting written down over here. Huh? Yeah, we love that. We love that. We absolutely love it. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. All right, love that stuff. I'm going to keep it right here. Step 1, I'm now creating all the initial files, starting with the dashboard. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love this. This is gonna be really nice. I'm really excited to see how this is when everything is done. See what I'm saying? Like, this is the thing that people don't really show you, is the actual building of it, which I think is the most important part, because there's a lot of areas and things that you could fuck up along this process, right? And yes, this is an extensively long video, but at the end of the day, I think it provides a lot of value, and I would want something like this because now you understand all the gaps that you could potentially run into. You understand all the gaps that it fixes, and at the end of the day, this is just extremely and utterly important in my eyes to showcase. All right, so he has finished step 1. Okay, step 1 is done and verified. 77 files across 33 directories. The complete vault structure is good. So what's in place? Dashboard with homepage, vault index, changelog, all 3 businesses with overview pages, decision logs, history, timelines, business-specific pages, pipeline, contacts, GMC status, products, all 13 agents with profile, lessons, and status pages, and master registry, systems documentation, the architecture, crons, APIs, Discord, troubleshooting, decision log with index, templates, and initial entries, lessons index organized by category, wiki section with inbox for quick capture, daily intelligence section for ready for compilation cron, X content section with strategy and analytics, 4 templates with consistent note creation, 72 verified links. What's not in place yet? Pages marked to be populated during initial compilation. Cron jobs not yet created. Yeah, okay. None of the stuff that we haven't built yet. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I have a quick question then. So does that mean that you have all of the agents.md files, every single one of the like soul.mds, agents.md, lessons.md, thinking.md, and everything like that, all of that is inside of the vault. Is that correct? I just want to make sure, like, we should be able to see legitimately everything. Yes, I completely agree. Okay, we need to go with option A. Like, we need to make sure that under each agent, I can look at each one of their files, agents.md, soul.md, all that stuff. Like, everything that pertains to each agent specifically when it comes to those level of things, like those files, should be inside of the agents section. Like, it should be inside of it in their subfolder of the agent's name. Does that make sense? I essentially want everything to be that is inside of the workspace. The entire workspace should be copy and pasted and put into the vault. And that way, everything that gets updated in the workspace then gets updated in the vault, and then I can see it. Okay, so I definitely agree with option A, where, you know, we pull it into the existing vault structure. And the agent's profile page gets the full soul.md content, like all of that stuff, all that soul.md, agents.md, all those files need to be inside of the vault as well. And ideally, you would put them in the subfolder of the agent's name. So it would go into the O2-agents, and then under Alex, his soul.md, agents.md, all that stuff would be under there. Does that make sense? Please ask me any clarifying questions before you proceed. So see, this is why I do this, because I wanted to make sure that the vault is exactly what the workspace shows. Anything that happens in the workspace should be showing in the vault, because the vault is a replication of the workspace, right? And it just lives and breathes just like the workspace does, but in the vault, so I could see it. That is completely correct. I will not be touching or editing anything in this vault. I just want it there to see it and to be able to reference it if I need to. Okay, so I am not going to be touching anything in there. If I want to update something, I will tell you to update it, and then you update it in the workspace, and then it gets updated in the vault. Does that make sense? Also, yes, you can put those under your file as well in the agents folder. You can put them under the subfolder Machiavelli for you as well. Okay, so essentially what Machiavelli is asking me here is, you know, the sync direction for these files. He wants to make sure that at the end of the day, the workspace on the computer remains the source of truth, and that the agents boot from the workspace files that write to the workspace files, and then the vault just gets updated and copies. It gets updated copies 3 times a day, and then if Machiavelli or I edit the soul.md, we edit it in the workspace, not in the vault, and then the next cron job compilation syncs it to the vault. So I completely agree, and he's just wanting to double check that as well. So I just said, yeah, that's completely correct. I won't be touching or anything in the vault. And I just want to make sure that it's there to see and reference at all times, right? So now he can go ahead and take care of the rest of this stuff. And as you can see here, you're going to be able to see it here relatively soon. Yeah, you're going to be able to see all these things get really updated here. Yep. All this stuff is now going to get updated. Perfect, completely aligned, boom. Okay, perfect. Very interesting here. You're able to see all the little things that he's catching and fixing in real time. So this is why I do this, because even for me, myself, like right now, like I'm a little not overwhelmed. I'm just more like, fuck, like I want to make sure this all gets organized and this all looks good, because I can already tell, like if I'm looking over here, I'm already knowing that like I'm already knowing like skill, like I can already see skills, right? And I want to make sure that these skills actually get dialed in. So this is stuff you can work on your own, but nonetheless, this is why I wanted to create this video, and I wanted to show you guys this. Now step 2 is done. So 214 total files in the vault, up from 77. All 13 agents have their complete workspace in the vault. Machiavelli has 20 different files. Every agent has all of their files. 0 missed files now. Case conflict, bug caught and fixed. So the Mac OS case sensitive file system was deleting the uppercase files when removing lowercase duplicates. All that restored now, and temp files excluded. You can now open Obsidian and browse. Now, I'm not going to show you guys, like, me going in and organizing all this, but I'm going to have Machiavelli go in and be like, okay, for under every agent now, we need to have a subfolder that's skills, and then all the skills go into that agent, or into that folder for that agent, okay? So I'm not going to do that with you guys right now, because, again, that'll just take forever, but let's go ahead and move on to step 3. And then I'm not going to show you guys where I set up the cron job and things like that. Like, I'm not going to do any of that. It's not really necessary, to be honest with you. It's a very simple setup to do a cron job. If you want me to show you guys how to do that, you can put it in the comments below, but in all reality, like, that's really not necessary here. Okay, now we're seeing here step 3 is done. So what was accomplished? 604 total link instances across the entire vault, 222 unique link targets, all valid. Navigation headers added to 52 agent files, good. Workspace files, sections added to all, beautiful. Business overview pages linked to agents workspace files, home dashboard updated, architecture page links to core agent files, lessons. Okay, beautiful. What this means for you: open any page in Obsidian and you can click through to any related page. Open Mercury Soul.md, click through to Empower overview, click through to Victor's lessons, click through to the agent's registry. The graph view will light up showing how everything connects, which if we go here, open graph, here we go. Geez, sweet mother of Mary and Joseph. Do we got any stragglers, folks? Do we have any stragglers? We have a couple. I'm actually thoroughly surprised. So just so you guys are aware, you don't want to have any straggler files. I'm actually curious what these are. I don't actually want to disclose because I don't know if I'm going to pop something up that I shouldn't. But, folks, I mean, we are ripping. This is absolutely beautiful, okay? So you just don't want orphan links or orphan files. We have 3. We'll clean those up later. That's absolutely beautiful. This is great. This is absolutely great here. Gosh, like, holy shit. 1 and 3 are done. Step 4 is create the home dashboard, which is already built. Step 5 is build Genghis constant. So, okay. So, I'm going to end the video here. Okay? Because at the end of the day, everything is done now. The major setup is done. I'm just going to have the cron job set up so that way this auto updates the file every time, and I ensure that the agents utilize it. But now this is incorporated into the memory layer as one of the memory layer functions. So overall, I really hope that this video was helpful for you guys. Please, like, smash the like button if you guys, this is really what's going to dictate this for me. Smash the like button and comment down below just letting me know if this was valuable to you and if this was helpful, because at the end of the day, this video was much longer than I anticipated it to be, but I knew that people like myself, I genuinely love watching videos like this where I can actually watch somebody do this and I step by step go through it with them. So if this was very valuable to you, please smash the like button and comment down below just letting me know if it was or not. It doesn't have to be a crazy long comment, just let me know. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit the bell notification. At this current time, we're currently at around 420-ish subs right now. And yeah, it's absolutely insane how fast we've grown since I started. This is only like the 6th video that's going up, or 7th video. So nonetheless, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I've got 20 plus videos lined up that I just need to shoot. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this. If you guys have any questions, or you guys wanted me to make a different video regarding the finalization of this, then I can. But that's pretty much it. The main stuff is done. Now you can kind of customize it how you want. Tell your agent to make separate subfolders for separate things, blah, 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 all that stuff, right? But again, I hope you guys enjoyed. Nobody has given you the most in-depth, step-by-step on how to actually set up Obsidian with OpenClaw and your agents until now, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, smash the like button, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell notification. I'm going to continue to pump out a bunch of content, and I will see you guys in the next video.